Good morning and welcome to Recora's latest webinar, Technology in Recycling, Smarter, Cleaner, Circular. I'm your host, James George, Head of Product Innovation and Circularity at Recora, and my co-host today is Tia Patel, Sustainability Consultant at Recora.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, James. So I'm really excited to share all the interesting things that are going on in the industry and at Recora. And far more goes on behind the scenes than traditional bins and bin lorries. And if I didn't introduce myself, I'm Tia. I'm a Senior Sustainability Consultant at Recora.
Thank you, Tia. We're going to have a Q&A at the end of the session, so please write any questions you have in the Q&A section and we will endeavour to answer those at the end. So, the future is here, and much of the science fiction of yesteryear is now with us or in development. And the purpose of today's webinar, in preparation for Recycle Week next week, is to explore how cutting-edge tech is transforming recycling operations here in the UK and around the world. We'll take a look at the growing role of AI in waste management. We'll discuss why decarbonising is such a focus for the waste industry, and we'll explain how these technologies connect to the circular economy. And of course, how these developments can help you and your business. But first, for those of you not familiar with Recora, please let us introduce the company to you and what we are all about.
So we are Recora. We are a sustainable waste management company. We were founded in 1988, born out of a charity called Friends of the Earth. We used to be called Paper Round, where our founder went round different businesses in London, collecting white office paper and recycling it. And we have now grown into a fully functioning waste management company. Sustainability is at the forefront of everything we do. We're not just a recycling company. Recora has a history that is deeply rooted in social value. So we also recycle over 38 different waste streams and we send them to our partners who recycle them. So these are known as our waste-free processors. And that's what we create, a circular economy. And we're constantly looking for new ways to innovate.
We do indeed. Thank you, Tia. So we all know we should be doing it, but we often forget why. And recycling is more than just a responsible habit. It's a vital part of how we manage our resources, protect our environment, and build a more sustainable future. Recycling reduces the volume of waste sent to landfill and incineration, helping to ease the pressure on our planet's finite capacity to absorb human impact. And every item diverted from the general waste stream is a step closer to cleaner streets, healthier ecosystems, and lower carbon emissions. But the benefits go far deeper. Recycling conserves natural resources, from timber to water, precious metals, fossil fuels. And by giving materials a second life, this is how we keep things circular. It also saves energy. Manufacturing products from recycled materials typically requires significantly less energy than producing them from raw inputs. This translates into lower greenhouse gas emissions and a reduced environmental footprint. There's also a legal imperative. Across the UK and beyond, businesses and local authorities are bound by regulations that mandate waste segregation, recycling targets, and responsible disposal. Compliance isn't optional, it's a legal obligation that reflects society's growing commitment to sustainability. And financially, recycling makes sense too. By reducing the volume of general waste, organisations can lower disposal costs, avoid penalties, and even unlock value from recyclable materials. And technology underpins it all by enabling precision, transparency, and scale, helping us track contamination, optimise recycling routes, and engage people with actionable insights. It turns recycling from a manual chore into a strategic, data-driven process. So, to illustrate the scale of the problem, I wanted to ask you all a quick question. How many London buses worth of waste does the UK produce every day? So, If you would like to use the chat function to put your answers in there, we'll have a quick look at what you think. Is it A, 12,000 buses, B, 28,000 buses, or C, 42,000 buses? That's a lot of buses, isn't it, Tia? That's a lot of waste. What do we all think? We've got a few different answers in here. Got a few different answers. Keep those coming. Most people think it's the higher end, which is a rather cynical look. Well, in fact, the answer is B, 28,000 buses. So every single day, that is such a huge amount, and therefore a huge challenge for the waste industry to deal with it all. Today's webinar is going to cover how the wider industry and world is utilising different technologies for cleaner, smarter and circular waste solutions, plus a look into the future to see how the technologies of tomorrow could soon be the tech of today. So without further ado, I'll hand you back over to my co-host Tia, who will kick things off with how technology is being used to make things cleaner.
Thank you, James. So in the waste industry, vehicles are a major contributor to overall emissions and air pollution. Cleaner technology is being developed to reduce these emissions, helping to support cleaner, healthier communities and also tackle climate change. Much of these cleaner vehicle technologies focus on decarbonising fleets by moving away from carbon-based fuels like petrol and diesel. And this is mainly achieved through electrification and the use of low carbon fuels. So decarbonising technologies brings huge benefits. So first, they're one of the most powerful tools we have to fight climate change. Transport makes up about a quarter of global CO2 emissions. So switching to electric and low carbon vehicles isn't just smart, it's essential. Second, these technologies help create cleaner air and healthier communities. So diesel exhaust is linked to respiratory illness and even lung cancer risk, especially in cities like London. By cutting emissions, we're directly protecting public health and improving quality of life. And finally, financially, there are real financial advantages. So over time, electric vehicles can dramatically cut fuel costs, often by 50% or more compared to diesel. So that means major savings for both businesses and fleets, making sustainable technology not just better for the planet, but also for the bottom line. So electric vehicles are becoming more common, and in the waste industry, we're seeing a lot of ERCVs. So these are electric refuse collection vehicles, replacing diesel. So these cut out tailpipe emissions completely, which is a big step in tackling climate change and improving air quality. We also have e-cargo bikes. They're another solution for urban areas. They're practical for small deliveries, they reduce congestion, and they also have no tailpipe emissions associated with them. Other types of electric vehicles are in development. So for example, at Recora, we're proud to be introducing the UK's first Scania electric roll-on, roll-off vehicle. So that's RoRo for short, for skip collections. And this is a big move to reduce emissions in our fleet. We also have low carbon fuel. So electric isn't always practical straight away, which is where low carbon fuels come in. So hydrogen fuel cell vehicles run on electricity, made from hydrogen and oxygen, with only water vapour at the tailpipe. Another option is HVO, which is a renewable fuel made from waste products, and it completely helps to cut emissions down. And it's not a permanent solution, but it helps bridge the gap whilst we grow our electric fleet. And finally, cleaner diesel technologies. So for vehicles that are still running on diesel, technology like selective catalytic reduction helps cut nitrogen oxide emissions. It's not the end goal, but it does make current vehicles cleaner while we transition. So now we are going to open the chat up again. We wanted to ask you, by how much has HVO reduced Recora's fleet emissions? Do you think it's A, 25%, B, 55%, or C, 85%?
And HBO, Tia, is wasted oil products, isn't that right?
It is, yes. It's a mixture of wasted oils
Vegetable oils.
Yeah, vegetable oils. So things like rapeseed oil and sunflower oil, for example.
What we're getting through here on the chat. Lots of A's and B's. Yeah. Keep putting your answers through on the chat. Let's see what you're all saying. 25%, 55%.
Shall we reveal the answer, James?
Well, interestingly, no one's put C, Tia. And what's the answer?
I know, the answer is C. So it's actually 85%. So HVO, it has helped cut Recora's emissions in our fleet down by 85%. And what's also great about it is we don't have to change any of our current infrastructure. So it's a real great short-term solution until we can finally scale up to have a fully electric fleet.
Fantastic, thank you. So, moving on, our world is being filled with more and more smart devices. Turning your heating on before you get home, lights to come on when you're not in, cameras to see who came to the door. The list goes on. And they all help with making our lives more efficient, safer and comfortable. And the recycling industry is no different. In the past, recycling was an almost exclusively manual task. Lots of people wading through waste to extract value. Very little technology was used. Likewise, there was no data and nobody really cared about what happened to their waste and how much. How things have changed. Now everyone wants data for compliance of legislation, for reporting and reputation, and for continual improvement of resource use and efficiency. Therefore, our technology has had to evolve to provide this. In this next section, we will be talking about how smart equipment and the Internet of Things is making recycling ever more efficient, helping us reduce waste, increase recycling, and provide better insights in order to improve data transparency. And here are some examples of smart technology that now exist and are used all around us. I own a robotic vacuum cleaner. It cleans my flat on a Monday and a Friday. I highly recommend. It doesn't come with pets though. And that is convenient for me, convenient cleaning that keeps my place under control. And you may have seen delivery robots being tested on the streets. Amazon have also tested drone deliveries too. Could we reduce the most emitting last mile deliveries by turning to robot deliveries? And I recently took a driverless taxi in the US, a prospect that I've been told will be introduced to the London by the end of next year. So could our collections and deliveries soon become driverless to reduce risk to human life? And it may feel like AI is taking over, but in the waste industry, there have been many solutions developed over the last few years to help people reduce waste, improve recycling, and make processes more efficient. For example, logistics companies such as the waste industry are using AI to optimize their fleet route planning. The benefits of this are to conserve fuel usage by optimizing the route distances and also save time by avoiding traffic, roadworks, or road closures. Stadiums, airports, shopping centres and other public realm areas are using interactive bin stations to help people put the right objects into the right bins. And the purpose of this, of course, is to help increase recycling and reduce contamination through points of engagement. And the likes of Oscar bins provide specialised item detection cameras to detect what is in your hand and promptly tell you what bin to put it in. They also offer quizzes, advertisements and other interactive features to help users stay engaged. And thirdly, recycling collection vehicles are employing AI detection to help identify contamination or potentially hazardous items that could affect the health and safety of drivers, the public, or facility workers. For instance, a camera on the back of a truck can detect if something hazardous, like a gas canister, has made it into the hopper, and therefore this can alert the driver to take action. Likewise, facilities, AI detection in sorting equipment can help identify recycling on a conveyor belt to pick out the recyclable items. So using coloured lasers, as an example from a company called Sorted provide, this can help point to the items that require picking and point to where they should go. And finally, restaurants are also using AI to detect their food waste, to help them reduce waste and better refine their menus to take advantage of their stock. Technologies such as Winnow detect and analyse and weigh food waste as it enters the bin to provide chefs with better data about what they are throwing away. So could they be using that waste to make a new starter or side dish? Or have they overordered during a known quiet season, for example? And one of the projects that Recora is leading in this space is a tool called Smart Audit. Contamination remains one of the most significant challenges in effective waste management. And without reliable data, organisations are limited to offering general guidance and training in the hope that individuals will dispose of waste correctly. However, with accurate data, it's possible to identify the source of contamination and understand which items are consistently being placed in the wrong bins. And so to address this, we developed Smart Audit, an AI-powered tool that analyses bin contents and generates detailed reports. And it identifies which items are correctly sorted, which are misplaced, and which may be compromising the quality of recyclable materials. Historically, this kind of auditing was a very manual, time-consuming and quite filthy process. But Smart Audit transforms it into a faster, smarter and more scalable solution. So, another question for you all. With AI, artificial intelligence, seemingly being able to help us with anything these days, and contamination being such a big issue in the industry, I'm interested to know from you, do you think AI could help you reduce contamination in your workplace? A is yes, ChatGPT me, or B, no, I prefer the human touch. Please put your answers in the chat. What do you think, Tia? Will AI be helping you? No, you're already perfect, aren't you? You already put the right things in the right bins. Good. What does everyone else think? Yes. Well, there's a selection here. Some people on board, some people not on board. AI's still got a long way to go, of course, I think, to be perfected. But I think we are starting to see it more and more. Most people putting A there. Thank you very much for your contributions. So yes, AI is here to stay, I think. Yeah.
That's great.
And it's not just AI and smart equipment. In the recycling industry, weighing is used throughout the value chain to measure waste output and material journeys, from monitoring bins on site to reporting compliance for legal obligations. Councils use it to meet targets, businesses use it to cut costs, and sustainability teams use it to drive circularity. And underpinning it all is technology. Smart scales, smart bins, and integrated data platforms turn raw weights into actionable insights, helping us to move from guesswork to precision. And here on the left is a picture of a weigh bridge. Nothing new, these have been around for a long time. And these are used to measure the loads of vehicles when moving materials around. And data from this can be sent into the cloud in real time, so freight companies can keep track of material movements for efficiency and transparency. And we have one at our facility where we keep track of all the material that comes in and all the material that goes out. And on the right-hand side is a picture of a self-weighing bin, which can measure how much food waste has been thrown away directly from the kitchen. So thinking about prep waste, spoilage, plate waste, all those can be weighed in one bin. And this provides the chef and the staff with a better idea of where the waste is coming from so they can target it for change. And at Recora, we have customers from a myriad of different industries, but what they all have in common is that they all want to recycle as much as possible. That's what I like to hear. In order to achieve that, we need to measure it. And we do this by weighing on our vehicles. However, this only provides weight at a building level. To really pinpoint where a building's waste is coming from, you need to measure each tenant, each floor, and even each department. Is the HR team really that good at segregating their recycling? And that's why we developed Smart Weigh, which is a piece of weighing equipment with smart capabilities in conjunction with a smartphone app to help our customers measure their recycling data to an even better level. And that recycling data is all available on our portal, so it gives access to their weights straight away. So, with all this thirst for data, and to understand how far we've come and how far we've still got to go, I wanted to ask another question to you, the audience. So today, what is the current UK recycling rate? Is it A, 45%, B, 67%, or C, 89%? Please put your answers in the chat. We've got a variety here. Most people putting A or B. No one believes it's 89%, which would be incredibly impressive, I'd say. Mostly A's and B's. Well, unfortunately for those who put B, the answer is in fact 45%. Well, it's actually 44.6%. I've taken the opportunity to round up because we have to at these levels. So yes, 45%. So we've got quite a ways to go, haven't we?
We do.
So, yeah. Good. Right. Well, Tia, please tell us about how things could be more circular.
Brilliant. So circularity means moving away from single-use, disposable or a linear waste model and keeping materials in use for as long as possible. So this is through things like reusing, repairing and recycling. It's better for the environment because it cuts waste and reduces the need for raw materials and also helps lower carbon emissions. Across the waste industry, and particularly in recycling, there is plenty of technology that supports a circular economy by sorting materials and reducing contamination so more can be rescued and recycled. So in the waste industry, materials recovery facilities, also known as MRFs, use specialised technology to recover as much material as possible. So this makes sure valuable resources can be saved, recycled and reused back in the circular economy. So different types of technology are used and each target specific materials. So you have vibrating screens, so they separate items by size and shape, removing contaminants like food and glass that may have seeped through. Paddles break up waste and spread materials for sorting, so they separate 2D items from 3D items and send them off in different directions. We also have optical sorters, which use sensors to identify items like plastics, paper and cans, which direct them for recycling. And we also have magnetic currents, so these pull out metals like steel and aluminium from general waste. And together, these technologies ensure more materials are recovered and less ends up as waste. Another example is our AI sorting arm. So these use advanced sensors and machine learning to identify and sort materials like cardboard, plastics, and even coffee cups with speed and precision. Each arm can actually sort between 35 and 60 items per minute, keeping recycling streams clean and less contaminated. It's constantly learning. It uses a vision unit to identify materials it's picking up. And most importantly, robotics also makes recycling facilities safer. So by handling hazardous or sharp items, these robots reduce health risks for staff. So just to let you all know, Recycle Week is happening between the 22nd and the 28th of this month. So it's a nationwide campaign in the UK that encourages people to recycle more and better. And this year's theme is Rescue Me Recycle. So it's all about identifying everyday common items that people produce that would usually end up in general waste and recycling them. So in this way, we move away from a make, take, waste model, so that's a linear model, to one that is circular, where items are recycled and put back into reuse. All the technology behind the scenes is based on what we're putting in our bins. As the way we recycle is ever evolving, technology will do so as well to make recycling cleaner, smarter, and circular.
Thank you, Tia. So moving on now, and predicting the future is never easy, and there are some clear issues that need to be overcome. our over-reliance on virgin materials, our overconsumption, throwaway society, single-use products, dirty industry, inefficiency, and risk to human safety. In this section, I will explore 5 emerging technologies that are set to shape the future of recycling and circularity for years to come. First up is chemical recycling. So unlike traditional mechanical recycling, where everything is chopped up and broken down that way, this method breaks plastics down to their molecular level, allowing us to recycle materials that were previously too contaminated or complex, like multi-layer packaging. And this could really be a game changer for plastic circularity, producing virgin quality feedstock, which is food safe. But it's not without its challenges. It's highly energy intensive, there are scalability issues, and financial viability are still hurdles to overcome. But it could have an impact and really complement mechanical recycling. Next, we have fibre-to-fibre textile recycling. So this technology enables used garments to be transformed back into new fibres, helping tackle fashion's enormous waste footprint. And whether it be mechanical or chemical recycling, these processes reduce reliance on virgin materials and support closed-loop production. So innovations like enzymatic recycling and AI-driven sorting are making it possible to recycle blended fabrics more efficiently. But like the previous example of chemical recycling, financial viability and scalability challenges are still being overcome. But there are many pilots out there, and there's some great work being done, so we're hoping to see that very soon. We're all used to using vending machines, but it's reverse vending machines and deposit return schemes which are driving consumer engagement in recycling in many countries. In Europe, for example, plenty of these exist, and these systems reward users for returning beverage containers, dramatically improving recycling rates for plastic bottles, glass, and aluminium cans. The UK is set to see this introduced with a date penned for October 2027. And this is particularly targeting the on-the-go waste, where public street bins are typically too contaminated to recycle. And digital reuse systems are transforming how we manage packaging and products. Using QR codes, RFID, and blockchain, these platforms track items through multiple use cycles. They provide real-time data, support extended producer responsibility, and enable scalable reuse models. So think smart packaging, automated returns, and seamless logistics, all powered by digital infrastructure. But yet again, it's scalability, cost, and a lack of legislation which is holding a lot of this potential circular economy game-changing from being implemented right now. But in Europe, they are putting some legislation together to encourage reuse. So I really want the UK to do the same soon. And finally, autonomous vehicles are entering the recycling space, from robotic bin collectors to drones monitoring illegal dumping. Yeah, that's right. Actually, in Singapore airport, I was putting my coffee cup into a roaming robot bin, which was very strange. But we could be seeing more of that. And these technologies reduce labour costs, improve safety, and optimise collection routes. As cities become smarter, autonomous systems will play a key role in efficient waste management too. And as I mentioned earlier, autonomous taxis already exist in the US. And a couple of months ago, I took an autonomous Waymo taxi, which is quite scary for some. I thought it was great. The trials of driverless trucks have been conducted on public roads across the globe, with ongoing research focusing on integration into key transport corridors, like the Rotterdam to Oslo route here in Europe. So together, technologies like these represent a shift from a linear waste system to intelligent circular ecosystems. So the future of recycling isn't just about bins and trucks as we know them now, it's about data, system design, and innovation. So what have we learned today? That we want to clean up how we collect waste industry in terms of emissions. There are a number of different decarbonisation strategies resulting in cleaner collections and for our air and reduced carbon footprint for our customers. That smart technology is here to stay, and we'll be connecting to more and more of our everyday objects to provide us with data, efficiency and well-being. The recycling industry is no different, and AI and smart equipment is now being used to measure contamination, measure and analyse recycling by tenant, floor and even department. We've learnt that robots and other MRF equipment are providing a safe and reliable addition to helping our staff, helping more of our customers' material go on its circular journey back into new products. And what will the future hold? Well, there are many new innovations out there being worked on as we speak, and that are set to change the industry for the better. And there's probably going to be a lot more AI, I imagine, Tia. More AI for sure. And Recora will continue to strive to be at the forefront to bring these technologies into the industry, help improve them and give value back to our customers. And of course, to be more cleaner, smarter and circular. So thank you for listening today. I hope you found it all insightful. But before you go, we've got one last question for you to consider. Which of these technologies that we've discussed today do you think will have the most significant impact on industry in the next decade? So A, artificial intelligence, B, robotics, C, smart equipment, D, decarbonisation. Please put in the chat which you think we're going to see more of. I think we're going to see all of them. Well, we are seeing all of them, but it's difficult to say which one's going to be the most significant. They've all got a part to play. We've got a mixture of answers, but certainly a lot of people leaning towards AI, which is for sure going to be the case. But yes, lots of people also think robotics and smart equipment. And one person putting decarbonisation. Good, great. We do need that. Thank you very much. So thank you all again for your attendance today. I'll now look into the Q&A to see if there are any questions. If you've got any questions, please put them in the Q&A now, and I'll try and get around to answering those. No questions. No questions. If you do have a question, please put it in there. Anything. If you. Oh, here we go. We've got a question coming in the chat. So from Nick, thank you, Nick, for your question. Given the improvements in technologies and the constant battle to educate people, is it likely that we'll be seeing a single bin collection? I didn't see the rest of that question. But yeah, it's a good question. I think the industry has battled with that over the years. We are very much a single source segregation company. That's how we were founded, collecting paper 30+ years ago. But it's a good question. We need to make things convenient. Obviously, there are some councils in the UK that have up to 7 bins, which is quite inconvenient, especially for smaller houses and flats. So yes, it's balancing, trying to keep the material as clean as possible so that we can get as much value out of it, but also being convenient for users. I think as much as the waste industry has to sort of provide the solutions at the end, we try and push this problem back to the designers of products. Can they make their products designed to fit into our system so that we don't have to have more and more different types of bins? So yeah, one to look out for. But I think for the time being, especially with legislation that's just come in, the smart, the sort of simpler recycling legislation, we have got a set number of material streams for the time being, and I can't see that changing anytime soon. Any other questions? Question here, which technologies are we both excited about? Tia, what are you most excited about in the waste industry or in general?
For me, I am most excited about the waste audit app that Recora have introduced. So I am a senior sustainability consultant. I look into customers' bins on a daily basis. I see a lot of contamination. For me, it's very time consuming to go through every single stack to get a better understanding of how I can reduce contamination in our clients' waste streams and help boost their recycling rates, helping our customers understand what can and can't go in each waste stream. I think the waste audit and bringing that in will really help me with my time and just make it less time consuming, so I'm able to help more customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great use of technology. Obviously everything gets put into a bin, into a sack, and it all gets mixed up. It's then a painstaking job to take all that apart, quite a dirty job. If you can use technology to do all that in a fraction of the time, why not?
And I'm also really excited to see some of the technologies that are already working in Europe coming over to the UK. So one of my friends, he's from Latvia, and there is already a deposit return scheme for bottles. So you pay an extra 10p when you get the bottle, but you can collect as many and you pop them through a slot, and then you get the 10p returned back to you. And I think that would be something that would really work well in the UK. Fantastic.
Thank you, Tia. I'm excited about all the technologies really, but I must admit, having gone on that in that autonomous taxi, I think that we could be seeing a lot more autonomous vehicles, as long as they're properly proven to be safe, doing lots of the work for us. There are lots of vehicles, moving things around the country, moving materials from our facility to reprocessors. There are lots of forklift drivers, forklift vehicles, and other waste vehicles that we could potentially move those staff and upscale them into other jobs and make those vehicle jobs be done by robots. I think that is most certainly going to happen. There are Amazon warehouses where I don't think anyone works in there today. It's all robots picking everything, whereas 10 years ago that would have been mostly people. So yeah, autonomous vehicles for me, I think, is really exciting. Good. Well, I think that's all, unless anyone's got any further questions. I've not seen any. I'm struggling to get into the Q&A though, but let's have a look. I think that's it. Yeah, so I think that just leads me to say thank you again for attending. We hope we hope you have a great recycling week next week. Don't forget that, and we also hope to see you at the next Recora webinar. Thanks again, and goodbye.
Thank you.